One of the things that I've really come to realize over the last several years being a part of this profession is that your family, without a doubt, walks out this profession with the police officer. Yes, the police officer's on the front lines responding to all the tragedy and trauma, but it's very difficult. That takes its toll on the officer, and it's very important for us to make an investment in the officer to make sure that they don't take that home or limit how much they take that home. Police officers are human beings just like everybody else. They experience stress, trauma, burnout, and so I think one of the benefits of Salt and Light Partners is they really make an investment into the emotional and spiritual well-being of the officers that helps them not only in their personal life, but their professional life as well, making them a better police officer and a better person, ensuring that they're not bringing some of that stress home to their family.
You take a little bit of that trauma and you take it with you. Now you're trying to present it to a family. Having the chaplains along with you goes a long way. I can present the bad news, then I can turn it over to the chaplains and they can kind of formulate a game plan with not only the family but with myself. Having the chaplains along kind of give the guys some understanding of if they are having some issues, they can have a chaplain ride along with them and kind of talk through some things. Having those folks like yourself that have a good understanding of how to not only deal with people, but also bring in faith-based, understanding the things, having people have a good understanding on how to communicate with each other is a huge asset for us.
I have seen without a doubt the absolute positive benefits of having a chaplains program in this organization. It's a confidential ear for the officers to, just reflect on issues, bounce ideas off of, and quite frankly, just that listening ear of, hey, you know what, I experienced this, and it's healthy to talk about it. So it's that ear for the officers, so that gives them a voice, which gives them a pathway to healing and a pathway to just kind of shedding some of that stress in a very stressful profession. I would like to continue to expand the program so that we can increase visibility and increase availability of the chaplains in this police department because quite frankly, showing up and being available is pretty much half the battle.
We'll respond to someone's worst day. Like they could have someone that is not breathing or a car accident or a fall off of a roof or anything like that. And it is basically a life-changing event for them, the witnesses, the loved ones. As a first responder, we go to multiple people's worst day. Sometimes their last day, and there's the surrounding people that experience it. So what happens with us is we go to call to call to call, and then when we come back, the aspect is like, well, now what about our trauma? We've experienced this, we've seen the bad stuff, like who's gonna take care of us? So that's where we kind of associate with like luggage or baggage. Like we can take baggage from multiple calls over multiple years and becomes more of a compounding factor. So what we have started relying is the chaplain program. What that does is that is basically our first responder for us on the mental aspect of it too. So there's certain things that we see cause nightmare, sleep deprivation, affects our health and affects our loved ones, our home life, and also our professional life too.
Dealing with tough people, I've learned that it's very difficult for them to admit that they could use some help. And so for me, the chaplain program's perfect for not only soldiers, but for firefighters. Because if they can build a trusting relationship with that firefighter, I feel like it increases the odds that identification of issues and perhaps a cry for help might be given or heard, So to me, it's just another pathway to try to identify issues before they become overwhelming. So far, it's been very positive. I expected this to take a long time to build that trust, and it's actually surprising me. It appears that it's going faster than I would have expected. I'm so excited, I'm so pumped. I felt like this was the right thing to do. I felt like we were ready for it, and I'm so pleased because I'm surprised at how smoothly it's been progressing.
I'm a huge advocate for the chaplain program. When we started bringing that program into the Rochester Fire Department, big time supporter of it. And I've seen it too, where we've had chaplain come in after calls and you just debrief, you just feel so much better. You're like, yep, I may not be cured of what I saw, but I know that I have an outlet.
Well, the chaplains are here, another layer of support for our staff. They are here for random visits. They just come to talk, to get to know all of our staff so that they're a familiar face for us. They're here anytime there's a critical incident. If we have a big fight or suicide attempts, they're here to support staff, to be that extra layer of support for them. The chaplains are responsive. They're great. They're there for everything. I call, I get a response. Staff calls, they get a response. Amazing follow-up. You're always seeing them. It's not just a face. There's a name to every face. Because staff wellness is first and foremost. It's been the most important thing to me since I've started working here. And developing another connection, another layer, another outlet for staff was why we wanted them here.
I see the chaplaincy program here with Olmsted County Sheriff's Office, Rochester PD, Rochester Fire, just becoming another tool that we know about, we think about, but it just becomes a natural piece to it. It's not a afterthought, or it's not something that we have to really process to use, that it's just natural. And that would be my hope for the future.